So the big question is this: what is life like on tour when you're playing professional golf? Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's tough. That's the question, and this is the podcast that's going to give you the answer. Welcome to Tales of the Tour on Stock Shot Secrets. You're back.
I'm back.
You made it back to the podcast.
Kids are back in school.
Oh, man. It's been what? Like 7 years?
No.
I saw you this
A couple of months. Yeah.
No, I think the last one we had, unfortunately, sorry, friends.
We had summer break.
Mom had to be mom. Dad had to be dad. Summer was tough. Not tough. We'll talk about summer, but
Yeah.
I think we haven't been on for what, maybe 3 months?
Yeah, since May.
Tales of the Tour.
Since before school ended.
That was
May.
summer. What was your favorite part of summer?
I don't know.
Seattle?
I enjoyed Seattle.
We went out to the coast. No cell phone for 4 days was epic.
Yeah, where we go out in Claylock is like no cell phone, no internet, no TVs.
Just fishing and
staring at
wine.
the ocean and wine.
Yep. And I had no cell phone, which was great. I turned off my phone on Sunday at about noon. Didn't turn on until Thursday about noon.
Yeah.
Never open it once. That was crazy good.
Seattle's always relaxing because, I mean, you just have fun activities that we're doing.
Do you like summer more, or do you like when the kids are in school and their schedule?
I like when the kids are in school and they're in the schedule. I love my children. I love our children.
Yes.
But
so they're not just yours, they're mine.
Yeah,
too.
they're ours. No, it's nice to be back on a schedule. But it's nice to have them home.
And
they
now
did a
we're
lot of
entering
summer
fall.
camps.
Like tomorrow's going to be like 65.
Yeah.
Sweater weather.
I'm good with that, though.
Sweater.
That's what I want.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. All right, so last time we left off, we're with our little blog posts and scheduling. Did we leave off?
We left off at the Abacoa Classic when Matt Harmon called you out.
Yep.
And we had the snakes.
Snakes. I don't
Snakes
know
in the swamp.
You know what movie that's from?
No, I don't.
Home Alone.
Oh.
Snakes. I don't know.
Adler asked to watch that the other day, and I was like, it's a little too early.
A little early in September. The Abacoa Classic, yeah, that was where Matt said it's okay to say thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a jerk.
Yeah, and the snakes, they chopped off their heads and threw them in the swamp. And...
Okay, so now where are we heading?
Oh, we are headed down to Texas. We fly to Texas. I'm not sure why we flew, because we drove everywhere, unless Texas, we probably flew to Texas because it was just such a random...
Yeah.
There wasn't anything. After Texas, we headed over to the Carolinas. So it was like, that would have been a haul.
Yeah, so Texas, that was the year, I think. That
was Pearland.
Yep, Nick Rousey won that year. The greens were so fast.
Was this the one where someone... Oh, so when we were in Texas... Wait, where were we?
Houston.
Yeah, Pearland.
Right.
And we were on a quest for good barbecue.
Yeah.
We were like,
was this the show one?
This might have been that. No, that was when Adler was a baby.
Yeah.
So this is in 2000. We're still in 2011. That's not till 2013. We became like in love with barbecue.
This is 11?
This is 2011.
This is my first hole in one.
Okay, I was wondering that if this was the
car.
So
this was the I started working with Mike in March, Bender.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't know the story, it's like, what do you want? I want a stock shot. I'm going to create a podcast called Stock Shot Secrets. Oh. So he goes, get a stock shot like ball's always playing offense, working towards the hole. It's going to scare the hole. And he was like, hey, have you ever had a hole in one? I was like, no, I've hit a lot of balls. Which is
crazy
though.
For all the years that you've played, had never had a hole in one.
And he goes, well, get ready. You're going to have a lot. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're going to get it. So a couple months go by, right? Not 2 seconds, but a couple months go by. Swing gets better. We go to that tournament. It's a Wednesday morning. We teed off at 7:30 in the Pro-Am. Never forget it. It was number 8, 212 yards. Hit a shot. Front left pin.
Was it over the water?
Nope.
No?
Front left pin.
I don't remember this whole thing.
And right into the hole. And I was like, yeah, I've done it. That's amazing. It was actually quite the opposite. I remember walking up to the green.
Like, that was it?
And I was like, people wait their whole lives for this. Like, maybe they're right in Ecclesiastes. Everything is vanity.
Just didn't matter.
It's like, it's just another shot, right?
You're like, oh,
but it was fun.
I just have to get my ball.
But I did get really excited because if our listeners go back and remember previous episodes, you brought an amazing car into the marriage.
I did. My Mercury Cougar.
With no air conditioning.
We were just talking about this. Who were we telling this story to? Someone at TGR.
Yeah, I don't know.
Were we telling this story?
I'm not sure. But she
The
brought
hot box.
the hot box cougar.
Which was really cute. And then just, I don't know, we happen to move to AZ and the AC goes out.
Yeah, and you get
We're
the
like,
nice
whatever.
car, and I get the Beatermobile, which is fine. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have a hot box with no air conditioning. I need a new car.
Yeah.
And every year at this tournament, up for the last 3 years, they had given a hole-in-one on hole 8.
Mm-hmm. Giving away a car.
Giving away a car.
For a hole-in-one.
For a hole-in-one. Nerd.
They're going to give you a hole-in-one.
So I go into the pro shop, or not the pro shop. We get done. We go to the dinner, like after, not the dinner, it's a lunch. And I'm like, I go up to the tournament director. He's like, John, guess what, man? I got the hole-in-one on hole 8. Like, I got a car.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the car is there every year. And he looks at me and goes, oh, man, I knew I forgot to do something. But great shot. And I'm like, get your godforsaken hand out of my face. I got a hot box car.
We really could have used a new car at that point.
A new car. I'm broke.
Yeah.
And I can't afford one. But that was the first hole-in-one, and then went on to have 7 hole-in-ones in
Cash
23
money.
months.
Yeah, which is crazy.
A world beater record.
When was your last hole-in-one?
The last hole-in-one I had was, I can see the shot. It was down a hill, but I forget the golf course.
Well, like what year? Recently?
No. I don't play.
I was gonna say, you don't play
like 5
anymore.
times a year. Gosh, where was that course? I could see it. I'll remember. I was like on a hill, and the whole thing was a valley. Anyways, so 7.
There you go.
So then we go from Pearland.
Wait,
right?
let's talk about the barbecue.
Okay, yeah, barbecue.
So we, as being barbecue connoisseurs now traveling all through the South, we have discovered that the tomato-based barbecue in Texas ain't where it's at. No, sorry, Texans. Anyone out there?
But we do love you still.
Great state.
Yeah.
We'll always love Texas.
Hey guys, I hope you are enjoying this episode of the Stock Shot Secrets podcast. If you are enjoying it, be sure to like this episode. Be sure to subscribe so you can always see when they're coming out. And most importantly, if you would be so kind to be able to share this podcast with other passionate golfers who are trying to get better and build stock shots, because it grows through you sharing it. Thank you so much for tuning in. And now back to Stock Shot Secrets. What's your barbecue of choice?
I think Carolina. I like more. Well, I like the vinegary mustard base.
You like the mustard?
I like mustard too.
That's Tennessee barbecue, right?
Yeah, which one? I can't
Tennessee,
remember.
I think is yellow. Maybe the listeners can comment it below and tell us what it is. But I think Carolina is the vinegar.
Okay.
Tomato is Texas, and mustard base is Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't mind mustard and vinegar based, but the tomato base I just can't get on board with.
I just like the vinegar.
It just tastes like tomato paste. Ugh.
But there was but it was good. All barbecue is good. For the most part.
I mean, we're not discriminating. I don't discriminate against any food.
Barbecue sounds good. We're getting hungry.
Yeah. So then we went to Seattle and we relaxed there.
Yeah, probably back to Claywalk.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to
Claywalk that year.
Is that when we went to Jangy's Bojangles?
After that, we went to Cutter Creek Classic, which was in Snow Hill, North Carolina.
Cutter Creek was where after this, so I had the hole-in-one. We went there, and then this is where we went, and we stayed with the couple, very elderly couple, on the cemetery.
The house that they lived in was this old farmhouse, and it was beautiful. It was nice. It was on this piece of property. They had like cornfields in the back. They had a family cemetery in the back, but like it was a family home. Yeah. So like their grandparents and great grandparents are probably the one. Their great grandparents are probably the ones who had built it. And this couple that we stayed with was probably in their late 80s, early 90s.
Right. And then
every night for dinner,
they would go. They'd be like, "Hey," and it's so nice, right? We're so thankful that we're there. They're like, "You guys want to go to dinner?" We're like, "Okay, let's go." So they're like, "We'll just go show you around town," and they would drive around. And I remember them driving legitimately like 18 miles an hour, and I'm like, "Oh my god," because I run a bazillion miles an hour in life. Yeah. I'm like, you have to drive, like, go faster. And I just remember I just cried, like, so nice, but like just scratching my eyes out. I'm like, this was
torture.
And they're like, and then we got there, and
we
they're like,
felt like we were definitely held hostage.
This is our favorite place.
It's our favorite restaurant.
It was called like Panfish USA.
Yeah, but they went there like whatever day it was. And we met up with all of their older friends.
Yeah, which was fun.
Oh, it was so much fun.
But I mean, it went in and it just smelled like middle of North Carolina. Panfish, like
deep fried,
bluegill was like the meal.
I think it's bluegill.
Is it bluegill?
Yeah,
bluegill.
No, it's a gill. Gill.
Is it
Bluegill. Yeah,
Had
I
they
don't even think
pronounced-
that you can eat bluegill.
You can at Pan Fry USA.
They definitely had like fried catfish and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely was not our favorite place to eat.
But then the only other restaurant
The only-
that says was Jangle Jangles, but Jangles giving us some Bojangles.
Was Bojangles, so it's like
we had Jangies that week, which is no wonder I was so fat back then.
You know, I was
wasn't
looking at
that fat, but I was
looking at some pictures of us during this time, and it is
I mean, it wasn't like fat, but I was fat.
We were plump.
I was
We were well fed.
yeah. On Jangies.
But I mean, I think we only had Bojangles once that trip. There just wasn't
Speak
anything.
for yourself.
I don't remember having it more
they
than
had
once.
Jangies was at the course because they coursed.
Oh,
it.
they sponsored.
They
Yeah.
sponsored. So every day you get off the course,
Yeah.
you go, give me some of them Bojangies.
There's some loyal Bojangles peeps out there,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you better. Yeah.
I like Bojangies.
I don't think I've ever had it since. I don't think you've ever had it since.
I mean, it's basically like Cane's chicken,
Yeah.
biscuits and chicken.
I don't.
I
Okay.
like Cane's too.
Cane's is good.
We have fast food like what, twice a year maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was and Cutter Creek before that was the year we played that event previously, and that was the event that also was my highest pain point because I remember distinctly playing that event, and you know, some of you guys might like. For me, not to get overly technical because we don't want to talk about golf because Leslie got frustrated because she's like, I don't want to play it.
Which is so weird
But-
that
but
this is
my-
what we talk about.
My club face was so open then, back then it would lay off and then I'd steepen it and blah, blah, blah. And that week, the year before, I literally could not stop hitting pole hooks. And I was
Yeah.
like, I suck. And that's where I was like, I have to fix this. Like, I've been searching, I've been looking at YouTube tips, I've been looking at Instagram stuff. Like, I am just treading water. I'm broke. We got to figure something out, and that's when the connection
Something's
then
gotta
came to
give.
Mike, and then I was like, hole in one.
Yeah.
So
Was this Avoid Slow Kyle week, or was that at
That was next.
that
So
was
let's-
Pine?
let's talk about
This
avoid
is
slow
this
Kyle.
is a
So let's-
dagger.
Yeah, what's a dagger? But I think it's a good way to. I think it's a good thing to come back to. Let's do that on our next episode. Because it's, you know, I had vengeance to take that week. Played pretty
Yeah.
good too.
Do you remember after at the same tournament when we were in Cutter Creek and Snow Hill? Do you remember they had like a garden in the back and we went out there and we picked, she made dinner one night. She did because we went out and picked the string beans for her. Okay. And then that's when we saw the cemetery and we're like, and then do you remember the dolls in the bedroom?
Oh god, so creepy.
They were on my side of the bed. I mean,
Mr. Peeper?
that's exactly.
Have you guys
These
seen?
dolls.
Have you guys have seen Seinfeld? What's our favorite show?
Yeah.
Like when you have the episode with Jerry sleeping with Kramer, and it's like the doll in the back where it
His little feet are scrounging across the ground. Yeah.
Mr. Peepers?
These dolls were literally they were her childhood dolls.
Yeah.
So they were
Porcelain
like
dolls.
they were
those things
beautiful.
are probably so much money. I bet.
worth so much money. They were absolutely beautiful. They were antiques and they were sitting right next to my side of the bed and it was like, oh my god.
That's almost as creepy as when you wake up in the middle of the night and you go, Kyle, there's a man sitting in the corner, and I go, what are you talking about?
I don't think we've told that story yet.
Well, we might as well.
Well.
Leslie has this thing where she will wake up in the middle of the night and she'll be like, Kyle, there's bats in the room. I'm like, where?
I do a lot of sleep I did a lot of sleep
and then you
talking
talk to her and
walking
you're like, sweetheart, like, where's the spider? And she's like, it's coming down from the ceiling. You're like, really? Like, it's dark. How do you see this? And she's like, and then after, and
there have been squirrels in the bedroom.
Yep.
There have been rattlesnakes. There have been rats or mice. There have been spiders. There was a man standing in the corner. And
the man standing in the corner is the creepiest one. Imagine waking up at 2 a.m. to like, Kyle, there's a man in the corner. It's
Kyle,
like,
I'm not lying. I visually see it. This was when we lived in AZ, and there was a man standing in the corner.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah. I mean, there is stuff. I've seen this. My eyes are wide open.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you talk to her and her eyes are open. You're like, sweetheart, what do you mean? Are you okay? And she's like, yes, Kyle, I'm fine, but there's spiders on my face. And you're like, wait, what? And then right there, she'll just smack her head back to sleep. It's like
those. I wonder if those are called night terrors.
I don't know.
I haven't had one in a while.
Yeah.
So
she doesn't have any demons. I promise. Her heart is pure. So, all right. Well, let's stop there. Let's come back to Avoid Slow Kyle, which was it's terrifying, but it's also
It's a good one.
It's also true.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time for another Tales of the Tour. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the latest episode of the Stock Shot Secrets. Now, I want to give you a special opportunity where you and I can chat individually by just simply texting the following number. And you can ask any question under the sun about anything relative to your game or your skill, body, mind, whatever it is. So just text me at 614-541-1988. That's 614-541-1988. Subscribe to our text line, and then you can be in the special Stock Shot community where we can talk about everything under the sun regarding stock shots.